And our face is 0556 702834. 0556 702834. Now no mundin come on. Omo wanya market deeper life junction. Hono ba won change na omo ho kire omo chese de oye bia no enhye da mfa. Positioning of your office no kra na eyasem. Baby our office no work kra no sebio o ma direction na baby amango dua ni sire ma me ton wa che no. Udu hono ma na wa fa kire hono wa fa ha. Na da be kwa weda wase se wo do afidie no ato eye Kessben TV. Kessben TV and I will share Mrs. Siadia Memo Kwa by Mawachi. Medin Eddie Mansan so for Kojo Preko Dankwah. So I will share more with DSTV. So channel 364 and I on Go TV channel 121. And I want to say Cameo on Facebook Kessben 92.9. Kessben 92.9. Want to say Cameo on like it, now share, now no o comment here, making comments in amount here Kessben 92.9 on Facebook. WhatsApp messages and Facebook text messages in no obetumi e de abreme making kind nyina so amount na bibia etumi akoyi amount. And ebedi nkomo ye pa nkomo ebedi no has to do with too many issues. And ebe one of the major social issues akwaba now in 2021 we found ourselves in that same space where enkwala students en awofo no ye nkwada no esuku ko na yenya suku na wie na fe ye ko school ni ebeka kire se enkwara ni tinwi no ye ntwitwa na so se esese ye kwatre kwa o be so wo ye ni clean enye de ewo wa ni bi we keeping the hair for a long time kra na o be twitwa eno enkomo no assign ababiom isane say the minister for education now Ora Haruna Idrisu assign akwako boss sisi ade was time emphasizes say o ye den ya yen so sanyema no so akwala bi obeko school bia no ani tunyi no eye atintin na fe agina so na ye yin de ne nyina no ye betwa amana ko down cut pa na aye uniformity osisi ejai sanyema we a na say so bia amfa ne tunyi style bia amra eye suku a emwa the next thing ebeba ne say ye hwe shoe the next thing ebe hwe ne say ye hwe de eko ene de eba nyina Arinti eno so ewo hono ma yebehwe na afi bibia no yebedi ho komo ye because minim say hia awofo ye pa arinti yebekọ ne akwa and then the issue of your mother thank ye dey trade ewo eye school no the effect na ewo so no ema nkwada no sisia no ye nyina no brofona na ya kan kwala ne ko school kra na brofona na omuka okay say me na ye ko school no minim say some that so ye there the issue of don't speak vernacular on the compound. Interesting. And you know why bet you say who can vernacular who can chi kasa na wa wu krom kasa no I dey communicate with school no ni atworo wudin na ya chew na ya bo ya show papa because sisia no ya dia who can your friend is saying chi na enya de say na fata say ye de adwuma ye pa but ye beka kodin komo na ya share people with disability. Amampenyi ade abetu dwa se sisi ade asemde ewo ho emomo. I think I saw another Rich. I saw a Brenton men kind of disability. Yes, I think Gilbert. One Gilbert Ejare neni ne ya enintino ono so de omo de kubia bomo say you from Center for Inclusion Advocacy Ghana. Now, my friend, they're calling on government to reconsider restoring payment of tuition and tuition for students with disability pursuing postgraduate studies in Ghana as part of government free tertiary education for persons with disability. But and also another matter, at the foreign reasons, so Mampenyin and I bet you just say they look at almost about 50 million. To look into now mo de aboa ama sebi ye nua no ma sebo me didem no so no e betumi aboa mu ye pa eno nti no ye kwakodi nkomo na ye ne Dr. Sam Aye na no indi or government spokesperson ewo Jubilee government communications ye no indi nkomo na ye nhwe de ekọ ene de eba nyina me sure so line one so right no indi and come okay so doc bibi abokore mo wache eba Kessben match so yeah okay me say me ton kan bibi sure say bibi abokore
Fantastic. Now so
Radio Dom kakra me say me who I think yeah judges na one of the no I think it's the accountability series so I saw you sitting there na why are suiti na wuti pa. It's interesting but so far me sure say bibi ekwo yi there.
Oh obo ade dem kwache yi na owo omampanyia oba ye say obagini di keke na wako omampanyia wampe ne ho anya onye na age so obepe ne ho bi anya onne ne appointees say omoba be funtum Ghana sika de akọ enya de a under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama no bibi sa be constitution in the last 10 months of the regime no boss bia President Mahama say Ghana for bia with this ocean 120-day social contractor President Mahama the same p na yeden two drama Ghana for since the Ghana for ye na domo na se Ghana for the abenya no mana oba ya de a ebe ma Ghana for ye de eniato oba ye President Mahama say ono ni aban a ni appointees e be swakra me no ye oni me be ya adwen say ye ba ye 10 ministries so from 30 to 23
yeah no correct
yeah 10 ministers so from 124 in the first term of the MPP no you see we are doing about 59 or 58 the big class aka what you say President Mahama why code of conduct our senior appointees there is a way you should conduct yourself unkoto aban property aban ejapade aban asase aban dan unu ho kwan sa obeto even if you ton a unu ho kwan sa obeto President Mahama say na appointees untimi obi awade more than 200 million na be declare any eniema bebre oba also obe national economic dialogue or yes national economic dialogue na me ne emu asua de a yenya ye suggestion for you in the media civil society organizations any yenuanoma omutiri ho abo bill as far as Ghana sikasam ye concern no omu na adi ehemu no omu di agencyere ba eno ne saa de na omu ye na emfaso a Ghana enya na Ghana economy say gina brand
yeah
ejina brand say de ye beto ye no President Mahama kanima pi o se betting tax obeye fi ho levy obeye fi ho tasa bebrebe o sa ka say ono oba establish accelerated export development committee na sa committee no ebeboa nsese be ye sepi ama niema ye produce o Ghana ha no ye betimi export more na ye nya bi President Mahama ka so obeye gold board and ne wa gold board in the last 10 months ye nya $8.1 billion and ne abeku Bank of Ghana ama Ghana cedi no aya brante so ne me be ya agent say aya brante
oh yeah ade
papa President Mahama say oba ye be a friend no fee stress no academic fee first year for go school na admission fees won sem din mimi go school Minya university admissions some me come medical school na me school fees board in the enyo obi a na benya say Canada yakọ President Mahama say so be so busuafo say for the first year no be ye me no ka say over 120,000 students and even more are benefited from Sanu academic fee.
Yeah.
So person I can go on and on. Now say President Mahama. Why Mahama care? Omo ye nuanoma omo da dialysis so near the ade oboa na ya shobo. Eye enyumeku ahodo okrumwa adonate ska national insurance ska gumama. Ye nuanoma omo kidney disease, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes. Ye trafo to ato ha. Ye betua omo enroni omo ya hwamo. And now say President Mahama, why free tertiary education for persons with disability. Me this nuntikra na no pay. My friend here,
exactly.
President Mahama de also obejini di keke ono wa mepene ho anya. Nti adwuma na no bekoso a obaye. Enko say obi free so 4 years no na Ghana for no kokromuti a omoto santre de koto abama ye papa his excellency President John Dramani Mahama no.
Okay. All right. Minister for Education, Urahana Idrisu, at the Asemi Betuja, which is a welcoming one, where the situation is that Get Fund will make an annual contribution of almost about 50 million in support of the Student Loan Trust Fund. No fees policy, especially for a year nuanoma sebio. Omedi demi chechire mu kakra obi person otiasie disability for no tie yen na ban ewo ihye be mpa na ban wo with this 50 million support your the baby boy.
Oh say oh share ye papa owo position 120 days social contract. Na eno akoya apamo a one Ghana for etise say Ghana for eye na domo Obeye Sa Niema we was about 25 line items in the first 120 days. Mene only me say about 98% of them were here. What I say?
Yeah.
One of them was the free tertiary education for persons with disability. Only me say persons with disability or Ghana, they are about 2 million, over 2 million. Only me say the society in so many ways. Even though we put in a lot of effort to support Yanoma, Bibinti, Omonani, Omosaya, Omoya, Omubebe, Omoya. Na a bread will say, as Omaino, say, yes, say disability is not inability, Tino. Me wo medical school, na me wo adamphobia, or no, na emse nenino efra kakra. But oko law school, now, or one of our more brilliant students. Indeed, Meno Kasei, University of Cape Coast Law School, Afana as a lecturer.
Wow.
Yes. Because of the kind of support for the man, the kind of support and the number for the man, and on one kasani personal motivation. Otimi encouraging and do baby I would do a net. Or it's a lecturer at University of Coast Law School. This should be a sign to all of us. Said disability is not inability. And nothing I papa is excellency. President John Dramani Mahama, the campaign for young people in this country, no not a border on Niema Miasa. One, a jobs creation. Number two, a human capital development. Number three, a bridging the inequality in our education gap. One of the people one of the groups say our system has not been able to support in terms of Niema Etesano. Almost falling within the bracket of persons with disability. President Mamas will launch a program so we call tertiary education, tuition, academic user fee, and any American. A siduduona kwine even ordinary people are omundi dem puno sanya ma we si omkwine enti say yebe put in effort aboma we must also put in place extra measures so there be 4 years of tertiary education 3 years of tertiary education aban no befa enwo kanyina enti me did say the steps taken by His Excellency the President and the Minister, as far as Yenyanoma, almost falling within the bracket of persons with disability. Almost waiting quality, equitable education. Almost waiting the bra. Na ometimi achieve higher heights. Na societal barriers are a few to do certain things. The use our barriers in a few. Now almost waiting about bra omope. A bra, a beboa. It will give them the opportunity to eke out a decent living just like Obia, regardless of your social class or your status or your religion. Okay. And see, this is what has informed your Papa His Excellency the President in the initiative to grant this opportunity for persons with disability to have a free tertiary education.
That's good news. But I mean, kind way more. This press release came in this morning, coming from a group called themselves Center for Inclusion Advocacy Ghana. And this one is coming from a section of these same people with disability. But this is what they say the Center for Inclusion Advocacy Ghana welcomes the intention behind the recently launched John Dramani Mahama's government free tertiary education for persons with disability initiative. According to the president, persons with disability admitted into accredited public tertiary institutions will have their fees fully covered by the state. But this is what their problem is. However, the CIAG must call out major shortcomings in the design and implementation of this laudable policy. This deficiency threatens to undermine inclusion, equality of opportunity, and the very objectives the policy seeks to do. Now, he says that while the policy provides free tuition and accommodation for people with disability to accredited public tertiary institutions, it does not cover postgraduate, master's, MPhil or PhD programs, nor guarantee the annual bursary or social assistance previously offered by the government to every student with disability. What it means is that students with disability who advances to postgraduate studies may be excluded or left without state support, a barrier to full participation in higher learning and professional development. What will you tell them?
Oh, of course. Yes, Kebi mami kebi amemo na ye. Na me nya de so say yenu anum so this response ayede aba. If at any point in time omujidi say bibi koso na e wota ban so hwe ni ya. Of course, that is the essence of governance. President Mahama one me be adwin say is a very tolerant president. Otie obi adwin. So if omujidi say it is only limited to first degree now, some of them, and I say, I mean, a large number of them will also have the idea to pursue higher educational way to say masters and so on a PhD. Of course, there's no difficulty. Abayin will put it into consideration. I believe say, yes, akola. Unia obetoka no namana obisaka taibo. Of course, if the president has thought about putting in place measures for first degree, there's no difficulty putting in place measures for secondary degree and what have you. And for me, it is highly welcomed. Government will consider it, and necessary measures will be put in place as far as that is concerned.
Okay, that's a wonderful news. So, it's a good call from government to see public workers to also, have this, and we pray, say, like you said, abayin besa ko back no mahwe ebia omombe ko manimu no so no omo nhye da menye hwe so bi omedo so bebere sa na mo ya bo mo ni ahwe kwa be fa so be. But wonderful job done. It's a good one. It's a good one for all of us. Say ani na yehwe say yebenya oman no tumi aboa na say bi ne metumi akoso yie pa dog ye da say radin sha say oni edi nkomo pa. All right. Yani Dr. Sam Aye, government communications yani ni din komono efa get fund abayin almost about 50 million to support annually to support people with disability, but then again, that's another good call coming from a group headed by Gilbert Boating Ejare, Honorary President Tema Kuna Mekinkai Omo Presano to say almost more person come anymore no more acquire further education to do other things in terms of postgraduate in doctorate in that kind abayin so behwe no otumi abo menya saudi omusi ehonomo a na akwati so mo ekọ omo animo no omo ntumi enya de sene de fata na se omo so mwano menya no omo ntumi enya emfi honma ntino. It's a call that ora Dr. Samaye say obehe na mpemfo so edi ho nkomo yie pa na yahwe so Gilbert Boating Ejare we president ewo the Ekuna your friend no Center for Advocacy and Inclusion no obedi but wa homa no so ye ne ni nkomo quick na fe ye mra back sisi. Gilbert, morning bibia bokode.
Yeah, good morning. Bibia boko na bacho mo so mo hoye.
Erade adom bibia eso fine pa. Answer na woba line no so na me ne ora Dr. Sam Aye di nkomo government communications regards to the 50 million that is going to come from get fund annually to support public persons with disability In your statement, yes, you say it's a good call, but you needed further and better, progress with it. Center for Inclusion Advocacy Ghana. Mo pese mo ma aban no so ehwema mo beyond say ultra 50 million annually to support persons with disability when it comes to school.
Me that's it. Maminchia Ashafua. One more share Kessben TV and I say and TF4 Mutie Kessben FM and crying Nikumasi na Maminchi Obia. Edikano policy ya kan ho asemi. Maminka nsisu dua se policy a ewo hodada. Ya abandada na breso Yera Dr. Kingsley Ajumai. No, yeah. Registrar or scholarship secretariat Sabreno. And then our University of Education Winneba campus. Anamia Kasa Gilbert Water Dynamic Hobby. Now, make us say a bino Sabreno. Na Utia a year tuition or tertiary level no first degree. Assigned Tia our postgraduate studies and after to be a master's MPhil and after all your PhD, no, your person with disability, no, abandon to your start scanning the money panel. And see, abandon way by, as part of their promises, Omoka said, a mobile free tertiary education for persons with disabilities. I believe that not and so Omu limse policy Nakazakwana, but that and I am that. If you are buy no and on me at home obey, yes, so dear, said your boo, Yajitum said persons with disabilities, as I say, yes, opportunity because and Kofu be bromedy them, Yana, if you had been a crack, and no crack, and Hona, and I will only be brain 9 fast and for Fono and go school. Now, by that, I have Breso, I am BP at Breso last year of Mufia Ben, before Mufia Benwa, Omodis have free tertiary education by no. And Nammi and Kazankasa, Nammi University of Ghana, may another degree in law, because Nammi medical the first degree in political science and philosophy. University of Ghana, Dada. Namum, Nammi Kasami Koshian law, this Abrenon by Nammi law. And they were paying the school fees in full. They are not income accommodation, the credit ed. It's the about way by no this house tertiary education by. Lay a joint okay. Omo the accommodation ebe ka ho no mu bia o ma to aso ayen pepepep the abandada no eye no no a me mo are wo se ma akobanti a ane pe ama ye kasa aye tinchen se aban e the accommodation abe ka ho ye da na se mo pia for ebi mra bio me mom postgraduate studies masters any PhD any the akeka ho nyina persons with disabilities Bibrina ayeno aban ayi eno no adi free scholarship package no mu eno na ye ntia se ade a abandada no ye na wo so wo be hwemu kena ana se wo be ma emu ayede na wo be ma emu ayede mom na se wo nu be yi bi film dia ene na nka wo ma dada no kra wo ho anke pensa because postgraduate studies no ye na ni se krom ha eno ne the aspect of education and the board in power. If you say Obi masters at University of Ghana School of Law in no Kataya offer Afibian when you can obey your best at 25,000 Ghana cedi. Can it take 250 million? Now Kano Obi already them that can obey the Amano. And it's about that note here. Now would the full but now be cut and no more. Now say I can't and they give me for that no and here one issue ready name we about by or the accommodation abeka ho etoso mienu policy can once me na under scholarship secretariat name we about for you NDC abayera John Dramani Mahama omanpeni everywhere yi scholarship can once me and the free scholarship secretariat for him at the Aquacoma Student Loans Trust Fund. Now, the attorney under scholarship secretariat, you was the Kabutri now your friend of Bursary. That Bursary, no, so Afibiano, na omutua e the ma persons with disabilities no de ade a yera rollers kra abreso no de baaye awwa besi ye papa a otwamu da na Dankwah Kufuado abreso na mo na Dankwah Kufuado baaye no oto sa bezu ni mu 100%. Teneye ye fa 1,000 or the 1,000 efa be kan ho na abanwe ebeyi ye scholarship ni bibia na free scholarship secretariat because scholarship secretariat na no mutia sika American waseni webeyi di akọ student loans trust fund no the efa bi only say aso sa bezu na scholarship secretariat for tua no and also student loans trust fund no omo betua and also akwaye ade bi a akwaye buache bi di enti wo hwe sa nyema mieni kefie pa ne ansemo a isi a ɛha nipa omodi dem o the various tertiary institutions a sabia bru omo person mo toa omo suku so enti senka doc na obo ni din nko wa homa so a nke be ni jesempa so obetumi ayi sansem akɛsie mieni pa media be ya no se bezwi no ɛno no ɛtesen and a postgraduate now so omotwam no a free scholarship no persons with disabilities are and as if body them are omusua de akomanim ebo masters ni PhD no is here no e de and as an for no ye de beye wo mo as finally so no the person ehu say apart from 50 million Ghana cedis a o ka say afibi e beba no ye twesi here no ye beye no emra ye de be court parliament ama parliament aye LIB ana se bibisa e de atoso se be se ye benya emra bi dia taachiri se be o kire bi aban fufuo bi ma no sori ahamache se de eburu nka se metwam na ade ni betumi awo forever I think so source of income and I said the source of because funds of money be free tertiary education for persons with disabilities ni no e be say aban ma yehu baby potia abribia no be fiaba se be ya ye be so okay ade we eda ho ya sheda institutionalize the ato na nkwa ye ye bia be no baako mienu miensa afi do be fisika no emma bio then finally no once sika no abanda da na breso no problem na omo so omo create ye ne fe school fees no wunya admission na ye ntia school fees no ma wansa nti na age say bia wo kope bosia na odi gotua school fees no mantem nti sika ne ba na wa throw letter ma university no ma me fa me ama ata University of Ghana Legon enye mfanto nti wo throw letter de koma Legon for so bitia mi school fees na mum abaya betia nti mo fa sa sika na aban dia ba no fe ma me na Legon for accredit to account na mo de sa sika no the amount. It's usually not amount for extra give us no matia sa fees na kopem say aban de beba. It is here no sa de no so esu betwa say aban edisika no ebeba entem nipa ni admission na no automatically on tua school fees bia na wawuram and as ade okope bosia edi betua fees no asa na da achibi aban disika na aba. Nti Mira Kojo Preko Dankwah, these are some of the issues that you person raising na omampeni ni mpani for ene omo di policy nanim no omadama omo hwemu man na letumi empe 7.3 wada that.
Very well, Gilbert. Better see pass uni edi enkomo no wa church eye eniem but ma men ko na me ne former NAT General Secretary ye papa David Ofori Echampon so ND enkomo ne yen share I think say menen be blended these two issues so that at least we can really get how it should move and all that. All right, David. Ofori Echampon but that say your friend why joining or Kessben matches so pacho bibia boko there.
Oh yami ado me se me da mase e check for.
Yes, so yeah, Josu ye pa. Just gone by a year. A brand here by friend Gilbert Boating on a year honorary president, Mass Center for Inclusion Advocacy Ghana. The issue of the Get Fund now going to make annual contribution of 50 million to support a year people with disability. No, I don't know whether I can really pick your take on that. Now, first off, not all countries and maybe a trim one or past government, had eye omo ye postgraduate, omo ye MPhil ne dia kan nyina no included in the mix where they were paying the fees for them. Now the new government says that as a we ohone fi ho, but he's going to deal with a tertiary no. One of the things Okaya Yemen Kakra has to do with South African government comes and it look as if yen shedan shemra ebian toho. So the fear for these disability people no cry say aban we so efiswa. Is it the fact that somebody comes and says, okay, now aban for nitua annually mamo mean to ebium menye bibia ebium na we should make it emra. Do you share the same view?
Well, I share the same view.
Okay.
I've been saying this over and over again. There are about issues of educational policy. There was a transcending politics. It must be stakeholder engagement, politicians, all major stakeholders in this country. Yeah, make a decision because I bet for that national development. But no partisan. I want to know that fear we no banu. That we are about the best way na bishop. Not only way we better son. So but as to whether I agree with what they are doing in there, well, maybe quam to be because Ghana for and almost show manifestos on mobile people with disability on the more free tertiary education and I go and so we just hold them to it. Into a manifesto. We can't kick against it. Mekai 2017, when I was the General Secretary of NATA, now a former government and I did 3 SHS and Eba. And I had engagement on the radio. Some say, what is our take on that? The question said, we have no take. So I'm like a campaign. And I was say, Ghana Ponto Abama, Motuma or more, they will do free SHS. The idea as teachers, our issue at that time was that. So I'm free. I enlarge enrollment. It means that our members are going to do more work. And they should give us that understanding. Say if our people do more than they are required to do by our condition of service, that they will pay us. And they agreed. And so we said, go ahead and do it. In the end, they're a political decision. Nobody can stop them. But what I am in Nakakran and say, you are setting out 50 million a year.
Yes.
Now, maybe I can say, Nipa Bibriowa or more disability are very intelligent. But I believe that they must have used data to arrive at 50 million. Say, enough.
That's a good one.
Say within first year, Nipa na Ebekono, Ebro 50 million. What are they going to do?
That's a good question.
So, because they say you are going to encourage a lot of people to come. Until media, I said 50 million, or I imagine you should have said a minimum of 50 million. At least Nipa na ban on 50 million. There's provision to take care of them. And then one of the things that I think must be done. Now, postgraduate for the free monoso. I think what they need to do, they say there used to be bursaries at the various districts to support people with disability.
Yes.
Now that the state is going to take over the first 3 years or 4 years of university education, they should channel those funds. Let's say, assembly interest can be a.
Yes, that's what it means.
And so they should use that money to support people from their districts who are doing postgraduate studies. If it's a bylaw, if an assemblies or anything, now I know soon taking care of that. Now, say, oh, after all, we can go to this side and access this one. As assembly for so, you cannot need more support disability. The Ababi drew or so they should do it that way so that the people are not disadvantaged. For me, that is my take on that. But as to whether we agree or not, and there's a political decision, I'm going to call your campaign, and I'm going to so now they have to do it. I'm going to get a national person.
Yeah.
So they must find a way of making sure that they have honored their promise.
It makes sense. That's a good call. And I think that what Boadeba Kubisua, it really, skipped my mind when I was talking to her, Dr. Sam, has to do with the data and then the money, allocated for it. Because when you could be me, the way they are, I know, can say, in Crofom would do one near my because application ketwa. So allocating 50 million, yes, a year dear, but what data did we use in checking some of these things and all? That's it. But would you also say this one is also a political call? We will not tolerate long hair today or tomorrow. We, if you Minister of Education, would this also be another political call?
We are funny people. We are funny people. Yeah, because you slow. And most of the decisions we take, in my opinion, they are political decisions. Because DBI, I'm up for both. So they be a control bomb to so school beyond when the mra and then could you assume say, let's say, I don't want to say, but the last time there was an issue with a Rasta boy at Achimota School. Okay.
Yes, that was 2021 thereabout. Yes.
And then this matter went to court, and there was a ruling saying religious deben, so they shouldn't cut the hair.
And no crepa.
So school here. Let me hypothetically say that I'm going to school.
Yes.
I was also Ghana Armed Forces. I was also Ghana Police. Police who will be UT and I'm
no correct.
Armed Forces will be UT and I'm
no correct.
My body is running in an
no correct.
So if he goes and says, I'm a religious belief, give me my name here. You're calling. Where have you gone? So me, what I hear, Minister for Education say, you are setting aside schools that one person you bet you for an ambo. Because I can't walk school na ya bonnet, you know. Omuti and quality fee, Omubon be weekly and every 2 weeks, and I'm a boy.
Yeah, no correct.
Jacob school me come break no bonnet you now my not your cry. 2 weeks, the other fuck go back when it's you. I got to do that. Well, let's make decisions that and 3 young for the future. Ukusukua, last the UPSA, Moana mo friend. They say they shouldn't wear certain uniform. And this is not a whole topic. Oh, but school say you rules you share Saturday away. So, Opa sign, no, I sign no about Nebuana.
No correct.
We do I am right into the measure. What kind of society are we building? It will be there, supporting me, Haruna. Won't put all back the unity, but local school and about them years, you know. Because it will have implications for the future. And future, I'm going to school, no more call you this movie or so for Ghana Army, the teen ACC3. You don't go unity, but I say, there's a ruling in the court, saying maybe unity. That disciplinary society, maybe so as citizens are concerned, will be lost. And I tell you more.
No, but already, David, Obibisa said, what has a year long hair cutting? Because school no shape the character of a student. I mean, clearly, addition of Abisuya, ain't he? So when you need here, then I person yellow.
Detaining this. Time I go school na secondary school. You who say we a dada ba, you who say we a mama ba, you who say we a say, and I go to me boy. The same what we are doing, you know, we are creating a class society. Because even at all, amongst our own people, no crano, Ukrano come more preparatory school. Even mutikra or more hair do some of the school, no crano. Nema bubu bubu muno. What here? Oh, crowd boot, you obey mobile. You understand that? Meanwhile, we are trying to create an even society. Society, opportunities.
There is an ongoing debate in social media.
Student population of about 1,000 or more at Mota School. Then if I be 50 there, you see, Mutino, your boy in chat. Oh, private school, that makes it simple. Media believe in discipline. 50 papa year secondary school be seen there. Haircut be or cry, night was not permissible.
Oh yeah, need them make pie. Obe you tina what their boy at two.
With me through a the team for get start say no go school. Maybe nana no a mo best am weekend. Kom ba no muti we fu am me do track am do mo ko baba ko yi o muti.
You already jumbo.
We don't I don't want my grandchildren to go hair like that. Also, muti me no et me perform unu numu a isun bi anim. Ze am for nu no muti. Kwa so dem kwa be kwa so dem obu se na obi oborga ne tinwi nyina ejigina so to say
I
what kind of life is that?
Oh no, already jump no enye fine won.
Baba. I hope more put any more you must be disciplined. What who say wo gina ho no gina wo yi. Na dey want me nyen kwa adwuma wo tumi ye kwa so dem.
Okay, because you see, Rastafari now quite sorry, you know, they keep telling us it's not the hair, but
church, you know, the church is permissible in their settings, you know. We don't have a problem with that. but we're talking about the general good of the country. And school there is a ground for discipline. It is a whole school there. You must subject yourself to the procedures. School not set at all. I got come out for the Quaco school. With the you come back and tell me.
All right, how about this scenario where it's interesting when Ora Haruna Kansas say when a lot of things are running on social media where somebody will say that, okay, for instance, so a foreigner who keeps that hair, almost foreign hair, no, I be saying call a year such a school, and you say Sandy Pano, so only trying to train you na.
Or you be say we Indian or Ghana ha.
Yes.
Our bar and it's muting we sign it here. Are there any for Abraham school? You understand that? Oh, you Indian, the team is on it here. We are Lebanese, the team is on it here. We are American, the team is on it here. But yen, we are local, not a bar. 10-year pen.
But that same Indian Lebanese you're talking about is also going to that same school with that same rules.
It doesn't matter. His texture by nature is what it is. So there not to be because on anything you want it, you have permit thing you want. Ghana for my impact in anyone. And yeah, you wig on that sort of something at that. Eh?
Oh, my tobacco.
You're showing you this animal with if you try to come back to hunters, that's anyhow near court. But then our society will bleed. Because the many people are breeding in discipline towards the future. It means rule or court is a ultimate call say because a religious belief say. This is about school. On one shot, I also not sorry no on Shampabwa. Where then? Obviously, you can go on with Jen Coco. Now, the team you go super no in Shampabwa, no back to the classroom. Also, you better reference to the Supreme Court ruling. Then religious belief. What I say on their own pump in India.
Okay. Because they're not Ora Haruna can or say ne a trini or china ebabane say a shoe. Ne mimi shoe no say na mishana na me say Michelle Sanders we and I say bibi. But around that time, yes, we had that thing for every child to wear. Now it look as if Obia Pedi or Shebisa no.
Kojo Preko school. Now young boys. Young pop one under green. What should be that? Come as we never under green.
Okay.
And then permissible at school.
Okay.
I send you a green. Maybe we are age be able to now under green and I say to say you put in the money. So you cannot show boot to say the all year more workshop. We allow that.
Okay.
Let's say we should be no share from Moses. We are here. We are here.
I make meaning pa.
We should have a school. And so Pabua.
And it says Ziga Ope Shepa Ziga the Ope
Ziga, yes or no, they are no, they were no a threat into your shop with So it's also making policies are any politically influenced, tainted. They make me do some mind. Look, maybe I come or say you call in this direction. In this direction. Last night makes me cover my car workshop. And I need to make far Uber driver no buy. I don't know. He wanted to clean the BBC. Oh, see, and it was no wrong. And I ne underpants in your show. I'm just a class nothing. So that I'm not bad in there. And otherwise, yeah, you trust and not win finance. And this thing is in our schools. And I'm a what?
No crap.
I didn't focus a bomb to from them pay child rights for the sorry. That is not our culture. A nation without a culture has no future.
No crap. That one I agree.
Yes. And we are importing a lot of foreign culture here. That is how the kids there dress. You get some who dress the way our people are misbehaving here. But majority of them are decently dressed. You see it. Yeah, they need jet to next say be behind because to about my. You must begin to make hard decisions so far as the educational system is concerned. Yes, idea we risk killing this country for future generations.
One of the another important issue of boss with the Tunanka Yejao has to do with the mother tongue. I mean, the scenario he created in Ashanti region where, I'll say, Akolano, the teacher was, waxing English, and then Akolano say, "Oh, country na metia say nkabe boapa." This mother tongue at the early stages, ayira wahum.
Oh, ayira that send lip service near pay. Last be make tell me kind of meeting say. Gandang before saying cry say chen cry kasawo.
Aye.
Look, I've worked in the union for over 20 years. I was general secretary for 4 years, and some of these policies were part of it. When I statistics, they say, why he is young cry? I will invest to go and teach. That time, no, a story passed, so we went around, we did a research to find out Accra. Teacher, why he is check and cry? I would Accra. 80%. A non-guns.
Wow.
80% a non-guns. Meanwhile, in education, your policy be said for up to primary 3, the offenders the local language and a child. But could you textbook now? The child. It's written in English.
Ah.
So what I say? Into what you have now, you're trying to bro and now it's so. Into what kind now with the PH so Accra Kasano only access to the document now a year now nasi uchimu.
That's a good one.
So it's a whole lot of big conversation. Until we are able to translate our books, from the English language to the local language, depending on which area we are teaching, and we have teachers who can do it, because as the children have the books and you are reading with them, they become conversant with the words. No crepa. I don't know what no kind of that I bet you are yeah, the ostriches. They will come here. They be a teacher for money a day. And we must be very pragmatic on that matter. Sometimes I don't want to talk about it because it's like the same old thing. Books now with the culture and mathematics, you're trying to English. Oh yeah, not as a put it back on coca back on Meanwhile, book you're 1+1. What are we doing?
Now, how about this one? With the Miami Fee, I experienced this thing, and I know say other houses are doing the same. This issue of chi nankasana yusiano. For instance, in my home is a kuapem. Enti se akola ne be fie na me hu se ne mama kire no eye twi na or the kuapem de kire no. Then she herself gets confused and says, Kojo, what they asanti twi na kire no me so make a kuapem. So then the child becomes confused. So oko school pe na okane mama dialect no twi na kuapem na. The teacher says it is not that, but it should be said this way. That problem, I don't know how we can solve it because it's happening now. And I'm saying, in my house, I find the same problem.
We are not being honest with ourselves. Because as Ghanaians, we don't want to have one single national local language, do we?
That be any.
You can't say debate or parliament to say, you're between the total good of Ghana, they adapted language, Ghana for the tribalistic tendencies, political tendencies. If you're South Africa, Womokasa, Wabuka. Okaza Zulu Ngwana Moka.
Dabi.
And I was in Zambia, Zulu Ngwana Moka.
Dabi.
But they found a way of adopting one language commonly accessible and easy to learn amongst their people. Whilst they have other languages. In the Hanya Shukra, and I was a Bakun dear. Yet me did Juma. You say Ghana Parliament, they can't say, they use local language. Don't trouble this. Because some may say, Mimia Bruni, who cannot come as Antitia, may make them in Turkey, and I'm
no crepa.
And Jacob Bruni, and on the translation. Many of Kushasi in so, who can was that, on Turkey. Jacob Kushasi in It's a make us say, you see, these are things I will say, this passionate national discussion, devoid of political sentiment. Na ye share say puna sabi ye Jimmy for yentimi anya. Yen to home for my nana. So going forward, they will meet a better system than we met it. Otherwise, for me, you can't do away with the English as our form of communication. If we want national cohesion and advancement, that's what we should do.
Okay. All right, Champo, that's it. Any education, additional than my nano pay. That's it. Be ready, show.
Me Chazi Gama
me Chazi Gama.
Okay.
All right, me that's it. Ora, former NAT, sorry, General Secretary, and then no Eddie in common, Ora David, Ofosu, a champion, no Eddie, Ofori champion, sorry, and then Eddie in common, fire the Haruna Idrisu. The Minister for Education at the Abetu Journey, very, very topical, and a bit who come ye pa, a phone lines and I'm a wolf on so much margin. How you feel? And then how I'm upset ye no one most to match my dream. But I'm quite man so nafi remember Ziga Honafi and cause Ziga stake so commercial transport operators SCCano at the Krataba Betuja say Honorable Kwesi Amwakun Ata, that's former transport and then former roads and highways minister Yamfano Emra Justice Edintia in some of the Bebrina no omo line so yabema e line so no ending common afi exactly why they want Ora Honorable Akwesi Amakwata to be arrested ewo memo hanom yabema Michel bibi abokore
Ene apajo mejo so
me sure say umpo mu ye
rather I na family na accident na ya agiye semo mine
no crepa ha dwene kaso ya na ebia kwesi Sunday I mean ano din ye pa
oh because we there minimum say ye be bomb for different part ye fa bo ba ko enkum no ma mienu na ye nsre Ghana po nyina ye ya no du dem say ye nya akonya anka timaka krabi ye fa ye nkyerɛkyerɛ kakra ewo ya kwantempo nsɛm so na bo ma mo ni nyina ko so ni say COVID accident hu che COVID-19 here.
Yeah, no crap.
COVID by mamuni nyina hu say from amu yade you be amfa nani ko tua wi se ehu say yare ne faraba ni then so ye to mu bo ho da wuro yie no ye ntu ase kra ko ya te so pa o accident there ye de ani hu ye hu say wa boro na wo twi hyen a utimi nya akwansia.
Yeah, no crap.
Utu America tente a utimi nya akwansia ukore overtaking na mpaso ni so a eno so utimi nya akwansia wa bre wa home utimi nya akwansia lack of maintenance utimi nya akwansia kodo eno ne ye atenkafo no ye de no
no correct
ba chota photos so ni akwan na ye bie mu no so utimi de akwansia ba
pa
chano so ye de ni ehu
yeah
abo ni mainum pa cha cement ni mainum yeni kocha asase na yebetre mu no mbaze se bi wo man mu
pa
enti se ye so COVID mu ane yenya anu pumasi bre kakra no yentimi nya accident no nso ma na nye yi ana yesi afi mu drama for 300 na ewu commercial transport operators ye kan ya drama for do mpacho se Kessben the KPD Sabi achi no obi ama adwuma asem ni meze department wa ama adwuma na meboa
no correct yes
and this obi ko mu awu a ye kin say ye driver we wo ko 300 and a stream ye nwi afi yo Ghana fo awu bia and the obu sam TTD yewra kwaku obi mu aba say road safety fo a we am na show na ro sem o mu ni say e sia at the spot wa ni pe wu ni ye kan wa ro ni say bi timi ye kofi e ko Obati akoda yare sabia ebe wi ase enye ye nu awu eno de ye wu rosenty fo ne MTT fo hu nka eno enti eye how katie pa eda mamu no so a ti ye nyina no ye hu de say ye wo bibi kwa calling for state of emergency accident bi enso ka hu bi
okay
se ye nyina ye hwe ni bi ye da se wo akwanya soronko a wo de abaye for the will walk a cry, yeah, but near a driver for the say, Mr. Yanu and San Kaka. What bra woman? Okay, young person, so mpacho mi katente ne teso unse obi a ukodu kumasi a otumfo na mo se tutu asante yiri nkase bramanhia no mo abaso kwado e ba posini card a mpacho sa posini no ye di tuo ka no ho so ya for kwado ye the bomb missiles akodi akese driver ma driver lines awudi ade be na de ka wa kum ni pacho obi ai yan hwani entu ye ho fo kakra
okay
ye kum Ghana for do
okay afi yamra mo letter no so mo adenti ne yenchi onabo kwesi amakwata
kwado me da say mpacho enkomo we kura de Kessben TV Kessben FM mo ya dance for me kai se abra yewra kwesi amwakwata eba abontin se roto ye free hono mo frɛ ye ema me kapa mo fidicate yesu se ye ni nkomo be bia nkyerɛ Ministry of Transport ana se road ministry se to na ye tria no omunyim free order bi na mom nkomo a me kai se ye no omudi ye eni se ye ni to no baby ye ko tria to no baby ti se ofin so eye amasamai achim sekire kasoa edie no omumbie kwan num se ne be ya traffic a ebo place no ye ho be hen ye kwado ye bia nshem ana ye che se ye request ya mo akwata de to no kura no we ye pri wo kura mo fra ye busa ye no sa driver for ye ni se tankomo no lembom se abai be ye bibia me ho hen ya omunti taxi ni bi free ho na fuwal nsem no emra from ehon no na ye dakene because to no kwado ye discard free passengers no one daw but ye pay to no mu free 10 pesos and call 1 cedi ye pay free 5 pesos and call 50 pesos no na ye che fancy kanu gu Ghana for 24 so anything and 30 and driver for the discount that anything ye would entia yewra pesiamu akwata yi free ho because the national chairman ma NDC we are saying ketia kan bi se onfam kosio speaker of parliament yewra babin enso kai Ghana for bebre kai na ya papa say what the be jana bia no junsobuo e ma ye kura ye be twetwe e de ye seriye na ye woni say ye nua mu Burkina for Niger for Mali for any other neighbor countries here can we share you come wa you to ba abenda nte kwan so free anything dey na si kwan say to again ya just timamufo dada na I won so e bako e use your facility ni kwa na ye jai say ma obi entua no emu ye rem kakra
okay
na kwado buaye ye de 100 cars pe ebu nkonta okuru webu
okay na afi enfensi
ye load free ya tema e bala pass no ye go 5 times a day 5 times a day no me pa chaw untia 10 cedi because I hire 1 cedi tina now to no hire 5 10 cedi kwado pa chaw 100 cars and ma pay what times 30 days ya pa chaw so ba boya ma ya bu yankonta that's the cababreo 100 cars no pa chaw 30 days no my 3,000 Ghana cedi 3,000 no ati ba ko 24 months pa chaw a day no ati ba ko kwado yemu nkunta ni ya ati ba ko 365 days and 3,000 times 365 me pa chaw sika ede maye no na just say ya bro 1 million Ghana cedi 100 cars bill afi ba afi de ni o pa chaw fie mienu enfie miensani kasi kanu do ya twere kan so na mo mamu ha no pa chaw ni se ne dodo the commercial transport operators for ye ni mo no ya bro 5 million say ya operator track eye bus eye truck eye you know 2 million po ene etua to a paro kafa ni agre ani ye japu ho yen so ye ni baby an ko first ka be ye kwan na o ra kwa na broja yen kan ya ni mu ye wie yemra kwati amwakwa tawi a ono nso yene ne di wokro we mu ye nso se ye nya accident okwa so ya kwan nye ani ye ja ahogwo mo use facility kwa timamufo nso e de bibi kakra ebo aban no because oni ye ja ni nyina ye de ye say the parliament ana nka ye yi free ho a ye no mu ni asem
okay
na bom so onu ade ne pe aye free ho a amfa emra kwa so no pero me mu sa ho asem
okay all right moleta no yedbedi juma and I think say mrepemu ne be he hawa yebetimi asolve sa niema we nyina ora eye ya obere ma yeda se bebrese ene wadi nkomo 42 minutes past the hour of 8 where Kessben 92.9 official Kessben TV on DSTV channel 364 and then on go channel no 121 on Facebook Kessben 92.9 like na share na fe comment me kan comment ni na ma WhatsApp messages ni na no so no wa no making kan ni na ma but answer na making kan no ma me ne ziga ending nkomo ne yenhwe ziga stick na fe yamra baxis ziga bia boko there
Nyamiadu boss.
Nice.
Nyamiadu marakwa.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, chia ifoni na o ma collect ni na.
Yeah, it should be there.
Yes. Yeah, ne mama say chia.
And sorry, and Janet Asana Nabla, chairperson People's National Party PMP. Watana said that I feel Godfrey Nana Boache, member of the National Communication Team of the NPP also Watana say. And you be doing komo ye pa. Yeah, na any more ashase or hono.
Yeah, mama kwaba. What's the studio high pepper? All right, boss.
Yes.
Haruna Idrisu.
Yeah.
Honorable Haruna Idrisu. My main casting we see before 2008. So, na Oko Ghana National Fire Service. No more review. Your federal regulation 33 clause 6.
Okay.
Sa regulation 33 clause 6 say 33 clause 6 say so your banner will join National Fire Service o first 3 years no untimenyam tin you untimenyam o first 3 years untimenyam enti fire service for new phobia na afa omo ye miensa omo kwanyam abra no mu nya 3 years and Ghana National Fire Service for you omadi you already know the court and a court reinstate you and a compensate you 50,000 Ghana cedis. Just by making you now court ruling judge now tenasam was say Ghana yamra na kire say ubetimi aye sex until you age outdrew abetimi aye sex 16 years and age per our with the criminal code you know 16 years but okay your children's act no so see age abetimi aware 18 years eti and man mienu na so mo bru 16 omo miensa no omo bru 16 and 18 years eti obi a obru 16 and 18 years no omo ye obi a obetimi aye sex tini you and obi a ye sex bia no potentially obetimi ahom and I want to mean shady pano say because of National Fire Service now abentino. Seven producer on to me sepeno on to me sex. Naturally, we are sex and swa pregnancy bet me aba. Eti judge no ne wisdom no what judge adeno with the natural point of view. On the year that ruling and ordinary state say man. Tell you. Ok achimota. Asem we say ye kaisa dache beba. Abrantie no man de rasta ekwa achimota. We set a bad precedent. The Ministry of Education at that time did not help us. We set a bad precedent at that time because listen, make you bet me you should the natural point of view to say the judge and can because usha a trichologist any dermatologist or a shady patron. Research be about on tibia me etiase obi a we bibini bia no naturally so uja utigusu no anu automatically you be dread you be dreadlocks so we can do that in a natural point of view but ye ko any ye ko cite religion say abrant any religion religiously in the religion e catch and say ese say oja ni twini ya rasta near the religion that defend near the manako atimota de awie abra yan hwebibia. But today obi so betimi akwa atimota obekwa disco obekọ infantipem okono okacha me say me religion see ema me twitwa how do we do with this? So I'm happy that Haruna Idrusu has come out to clear this mess. We should not tolerate that. The American watcher say, when I took my son to school, I started from Adisade College. That's what I wanted my son to go and finish it. When I took my son to school, you know about the Mayan agreement, you know about the Mayan. Apart from your manners, we say, "Utini trying to down cut." The American watcher say, so it's a good idea. And Quran starts a through her. And you can say, question school, so me initially on, not be told that, but Mr. David Ofore Champo kill us once and for all. Obi a dreadlock person. Nipa no beti mi akase, me we school, me pese me call police, me say me call military, me pese me call immigration and also whatever, any security services. But that the parokwa, you be asked to shave your beard and cut your hair off. Mebwa, I didn't school you won't me. So, you good. And say how do you do honorable didn't see from na you discourages adian. Me that video no cry now na. So more girl no ya santua girls ni to tell you ni asa style the high ayi styling gel aside ni trim ni he no. To tadi ni na to go no mu ade eni kwaso di teacher ni na what na ade ni ye pe. I'm telling you. SSC is shaving in our conform no who ni level. Sabi ko school mi ko suade sadie ni na ka hu bi e ya de kire. Teacher need the hairstyle. Hey, aye gel aye styling gel aye ni trim akeka to also do dia obeda no abu. Obeda no abu no. Adopt my heart for Haruna Idrusu. Ono wan nantin ko school should be no monitor. Nya sad no. Okay. That is one. Last one.
Okay.
People with disability. President Kufuor came to pass Disability Act, which was good. So we how we see that. And so making sure that the elevator, especially the one, yenye baby a dipa befa, ye be people with disability befa, ye timi discriminate you omo, adwuma o compare adwuma ne ade, e bi wo discriminatory law, e bi wo Sweden, Canada, Scandinavian countries, Germany mo ne ade. And President Kufuor share ya, ye de pass the Disability Act in 2006. Now, Nana Dankwah Kufuor came and appointed a man called Joshua Makubu as a regional minister. Nana Bakotwa amputi Oti region. What is fantastic. President Mahama in the first term appointed Dr. Seydou Dana as also visually impaired as a minister for chieftaincy and religious affairs. That was good. But this thing that President Mahama has done, it will go down to books. It will cover a lot of people. And I think that a good policy. You deny you soon. At the country or the first time I ever then say, Dr. Baumi also promised to give the same care to them. The American watcher said, it's an American say, Busa branch and say, Sana, you know, how that I then Dr. Baumia promises or Bobby. Oh, the bitchy. Dr. Baumia also promises. And nothing is not a BBN one ma fair descent. Say what promise manifesto promise. Oh, promising now we at the end of your first year. It is good that we are going to have people with disability Ebeko school for free of charge.
Okay.
But boss, let's watch this. Oramu akwata na yesi empenechino. Media no na make bi. But you see, enye omo ye edi dem ni na betimi akọ school. You obi o ha o street. You obi o ho no mo a o hye baby. As I said, we create a mechanism to cover all these people. Because adie bia ni enyan tieni yo. Oramu akwata dan sore prekope. We didi asem predi asem bia oyi ni sim. O sore o so atwa roto. Ade amani pa kwatena fia man people lose election. Obi ato kokko ne nkate wo roto dabre dia hwe ne man na university. O mana kwatena fia. Nipa na roto 80% of them Nana Dankwah Kufuor dey say omunye people with disabilities omun na ba betena fie. Messi President Mahama say roto no omu buy automated according to Kwame Agbaja. They will still need human resource So to make the failure, then we resort to the human yes, some people with disability. Yen fa omumbra. Je to so bia me. Se was study the sit down jobs SSC a man yemra. Ya amedi disability loan. Na sit down job like toilet facilities ya jijiska. Boss, toilet facilities ya jijiska. Se eya wo dia o nya wo dia o, se ya ban dia o nya ban dia o, se BOT no wat na assembly o, se assembly dia o so man dia o, se people with disability na tena ho. Kojo Preko should not be allowed to sit on your friend say sit be so wajete and comfort toilet sika. Na fe yen hwe obu security. Muta unu se nkofo e groupu ayarefo o mani afra. Ni odo makokogu kwa ho ne yetonwom. Haven't you seen that?
Yeah, I see.
Near the collection. Your best lesson, President Mahama, critics have mechanism. Yen you obu the name from through chrome. And you're dangerous because you're showing cophobia school. Cophobia man your opportunity uncle school need to protect them. Mahama care about Mahama care no can documents now, but there is a stick. What can and you brought Nipa Neltresi come here, dear Guma, ya de caution copho, ya deadly diseases. Will be a one ya bian. I are in your way and ya mere panu could not second as a for market to Okumasi and this cat. A sophobia. One must say San Kurano, Edward Koja Jihanu Koji Disika for free of charge.
Okay.
Then Pierre will happy for fun. Mahama Kia Bamu Formuko Hospital.
Okay.
Yabe no pressing for free of charge.
Okay. All right. But I say Ziga and your 10 in Kano 53 minutes past the hour of 8. And Ziga's take was brought to you by Doc Activated Chaco. Doc Activated Chaco. Now, Doc. Oh, okay.
Not Jaco.
All right.
Now, Madam Timmy. Doc Activated Chaco pardon. Obia Botafno pa. Obia osa woso etete wo awoso osa hodo ni na no uhia Doc Activated Chaco pada obi otru mika pede na nusu bli no obi wa indigestion na duma na ya anadwo ene odidi nti indigestion itimi ba eto yi bibi kakra bia na as na nusu tan ekofa pressure dia bro uhia Doc Activated Chaco powder na nei se gas ena agina wo yama ye bloated a Doc Activated Chaco powder ebe flash ni nako ebe detoxico am why strong appeal say na say obi timi sitimi white aya so okotua 5,000 3,500 no akotwi ni sina na sina white dabi dachi be kwa kofa susu so dia bro but Doc Activated Chaco powder no de bo ututu si bia na dia bo brush ututu si ebe se fita white okotua si kan kwankwa yesa adu edua no ye de hibidie no yenkwa na enim 100% natural Doc Activated Chaco powder yare bia wo so bia no ebe flash no e de na akọ uhia bibia nene ukwa Ekus pharmacy eno no wa shaman ene ye wo Redema pharmacy so wa shaman nana bo ache watema AMS watakrade ene Delight pharmacy o Koforudia ene afei Adiya pharmacy Okumase Life pharmacy Lancer chemist ene Colonel pharmacy obuni na Okumase ene pharmacy bia wa Ghana especially ko Kaishi ubenya biato drug lane bia Doc Activated Chaco powder ene abenya biato number ni 0598206885 0598206885 and 02066166620 02066166620 Doc Activated Chaco powder bubobi nesi pisita boost immune system no na why say me ya oba be ka say LPP
all right
oh I compare konso ho ye yes be na champion the leader ya ne kre
And Cheva very common to see an affair share the economy dear Benjamin. Now this one is coming from Mavis. He says that I believe that secondary school students, as in SHS, right, in boarding houses should not be allowed to have long hairstyle. This is because maintaining such hairstyles can be time consuming and may distract from their academic focus. Students may spend a significant amount of time braiding, styling and grooming their hair, which could be better spent on studying and other activities. By having a more straightforward hairstyle, students can save time and concentrate on their education. This one is coming from Mavis. And also Nadia or De Ebaye, no, but well, I don't know why I differ on these once, but yendi hun komona fe yenhwe de eko de ebenyina. So this is coming from maybe so no so ne de by and this one is President Mahama is on the right track by implementing all the needed policies and programs to make Ghana a better place to live. All we need is to support him. The current MPP is not serious. They have no better things to offer Mother Ghana. On so ne de or de by no I'll read all the ones that is here. But wise man, you keep sending messages which will not be productive for all of us to read. I mean, if you say, I ask listeners to contribute, and then you contribute, I will read as and when it comes. So, in BT sending the opposite wokano na me and can kind na wow to Ziga. This is Pastor Edu Jemfi saying that to Ziga. Yenin komo yamame atina say Auntie Janet Asana Nabla Chairperson People's National Party PNP na face so Godfred Nana Boache, member of the National Communication Team of the NPP. As what I say about being common na fair share dear Connie dear Ben and Penfo Michel Muna Mommy Biabo dear.
Patrick is dimu.
Yeah, the radia say Godi Biabo dear.
Yeah, Yame Adam now say
Bokon kakra nice. Yes, shall say where the shall say with education and the shall say with your mommy because the Jamwana Moshe Maya and I'm one I'm what to ya and I'm what cry ya and your school one I'm na my and in Indian come or Aruna Idris to say this time around henceforth I mean will not tolerate any long hair. School. It has become one of the social issues. Truly speaking, if you know, people are wondering and then talking about it. A clear video of a young girl who was at the barbering shop and you trying to in a good because of school Santoa, and then she was crying and all that and all these things are on 2021 we had the same issue coming up with was a religious side of it where Yenya Bema no or yet Nitrini and person no so koya Achimote Kofan Sembi now by but it's back again to hit us again. Now the minister says that we will not tolerate any long hair today or tomorrow in our SHS school. It is not a place for beauty contest. Mommy, 10 minutes dear. What do we do with this one?
Maminche micro panelist. So Maminche will be our almost share of my Kessben FM and TV. Media me supporti the Haruna Idrisu Kayeno.
Okay.
Me ngwa say sa time na sa same way by na MPP ne woso. Omo ntimi tenaf gina they could not family come out with a decision. And na school no versus the parent me say omo court to kurampo ene de keka ho. It wasn't good in the eyes of the minister at that time. They say, on cash in Fahu. Inti Haruna Idrisu, Mamim Bona Basso, say, well, yeah, dear, papa. This is what we are looking for. Ministers are almost adie. Say, we this in Obama buy or see, we have to build strong institutions. And I say, no, I don't buy into that. Obama. Mo US, mo BBR, and everything is okay. So now you can build on your institutions. Ghana, we need to build on the human resource, not the institution. A strong personality usually is capable of doing the work more than the institution. There were nice and beautiful things in our constitution, so they are not executing them because we don't have. We are bold enough to be able to tackle the issues. So in Africa, we don't need strong institutions. We need strong men and women who are bold and then fearless to be able to come up with ideas to help this country. And one of them, Haruna Idrisu, Otimi sorry osi debi. We dear, ye ko SS, mimi ko SS, miko SS na mitwa miti. Mitwa miti na sisi ameti ma ye miti die mi pe bia ma wu. Debut. It is almost a BBR. Don't stand as if say we will buy a more important than any other person. Me buy a Rastafarian. And now all your religious Rasta. Satam na Achimota diane buy no. In fact, we spoke vehemently against it. Say Achimota mo munji akwalano. Ne mama ne papa omo fa no nkon omo fie no omo nkotete no. Ana omo ko ma no home schooling. Because min pesa min babeko baby a SHS a obehu say obi wa Rasta na one day obeka say opese on ye Rasta. To me, I don't have a problem with Rastafarians, but me pesa and me bam mbeye Rastafarian. Inti se Rasta, now we are rasta at this particular time nkolan mo ye 11 years 12 years 13 14 they are very vulnerable. They cannot be able to think for themselves. Or tertiary institution at that time there the brain is well developed. Say obeka say meye way minye way. Enti school no mo si obi antwen omuti na wunkwa wo ba only one person among millions. We see there be woman in Trinity na we see saying. So the minister a affirmative statement now obeye no is clearing everything up. And I think that parents are almost sorry na debia me dem impese me banko unity na blah 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 say the enter. What's the problem? That's what the rules are saying. Say our country there are no rules and regulations governing it. Ube wo fear no be obi aba be bu wo fear ho no bi ntimi country. Inti rules and your biane omo ye conform they want luxury to go and steal. But rule they say don't do it. So anything they are hiding to do it. So why are we having rules and regulations? Are almost the rules to why now we see there be media. I don't like it. I want my child to be doing the hair. Saying so. I think that I side with the Minister for Education on the stance. Say obia unity. Say we person we ba one person we ban unity. Yeah, what private schools are we ban unity. They don't care. Why don't you send your child to a private school? Okay, because Anka obeka bibi.
Meka bibi. So you bet me yi me bano ako private school. Private school took the child. Our bonity no. But akwala no passe echo through ye bibia. Nothing happened. That same child is coming to a government institution and you say it's own trinity. That same government institution respects religion to the extent that Muslim for any SHS. I know that we have Muslims having their own, associations more. Even so you cry your Gamsa, your Penta, ne one for a school, school, religious unions and all that. My point is there any data that has proven to all of us that Akwalano Bonitia, the rate of a school dropout and not failing in exams or not developing the character is this huge? Is there any data to prove that?
And yes, yes, you'll be bonitia maybe or academically one year good and now or bonitia or your district. And yes, Aneka. Okay. Yes, rule. They say it's a rule. It is a rule. Everyone with the rules and regulations. One of the rules in Ghana is saying that. So we call SHS even from basic to SHS. Bring your head down. Now we call tertiary. We bet my idea we pay biya. It is a rule. It doesn't matter. Say, it is it is a rule. It is a constitution. What? Omuka say we pay say we bet than MPR. This is 1 year. How many years? No, 21 years. Is there any rule saying that if somebody is less than 21 years, the person cannot be able to be an MP? Maybe so. See, there is no rule. Or be a less than 21 years. Or be will be more 19 years, 18 years, or more very intelligent or kasakurampo maturity. But Constitution say 21.
Yes, because it comes with a reason that 21 years we know say around that time we are matured, it comes with
no scientific evidence in what you are saying.
Okay, to say also be the president, we are presidential candidate.
Say we be done 40 years
sound mind, blah blah blah. These are reasons in our age,
And I see the what
were the reasons that they gave?
Nah, there is no any scientific proof say will be a 40 years or sound mind, and I'll be a 21 years or sound mind. Or you matured. There is no any scientific and empirical evidence to those words. So we can say na you see obi trinity onusu or ye very destructive because we sorry na obeye wuti we sorry wuti Jesus obi mbotiri no we school when e obeba wuti amount because we boy etia maybe for 2 weeks and not 3 weeks as I say wonko ye washing na wonsan ko no being decent. This is the distraction. But what you would hear, we bet my diary, I go with so now we call baby. And you see a lot of distraction. Now we go boa new ones. Woman me wosika maybe or the obi beba school. I'm an abuama. Obi dia wonisika into a share with no not because of you won't tra a bad distraction to another person. nti enunti na Ghana education services si obi ambo ne ti and the truth ni say obi anyi ne ti nti obi won tu no na wo kwala we pese won bo ne ti to reasons best known to you mpacho for banako private Nigeria. That's the rule. And I was won pese won Ghana ha obi amfre wo betima atu kwan akobebi like US UK or mo betima bouti ba won Ghana ha no mu minister no and a Ghana education service me do mo papa see from basic to secondary education you would want to mean you would for Obana cause another country no uncle school it's not like it's force obi am force who Ghana say follow our educational system. We should not be wasting time talking about this issue. Time na Haruna Idrisu Okan say no me de papa onusu kan about languages.
Your mother tongue can come be
your mother your fancy when him say Ghana Education Service rules and regulations stated that long time ago that was 1990 almost see time almost 1990 like it started long time ago say akwala ko school from class kindergarten up to class 3 ma omunka bro from man akwala no omun chire no wo ne hometown dialect kasaso but the teachers are not doing it. You are not supposed to speak English to someone who is in KG in the Ghana Education Service rules and regulations. You are supposed to speak your mother's tongue. It's say unfa wan kasa wukasa wuntiti omwa or class 3 we are no class 4 now with the English in adiaba. Na me ye people teaching our ye room ena ye wo PTA meeting ena papa bi sorry ye o se e ba ne say na mumu nkola no muntimi nka brofo ena we mu ba ye private school o mu be bie ya nkola no kwa brofo ena ye nyina ye wo kwa headmaster ne sorry ye o se Ghana Education Service rules and regulations ne say akola bia o school ha e say ye mfa mampuruli language no titino from KG up to class 3 into odu class 3 no class 4 na sisi ade ye best English and a papa no sorry ye o see dia eye mre we beti ma like you can be able to done wonye ye wo twen masa and sisi a wo pese wo mfa brofo mbra enunti na ye nkola amtimi nka brofo na de keka ho but one of the things I me pese me mfa nka kire Haruna Idrisu ne say the truth is that religion is destroying northern region. Religion are destroying the people of the north. Ube who be unim Mustafa Hamid.
Yes,
Mustafa Hamid. Sa you we northern name wahifa. Idrisu Haruna awahifa. These are not northern names. These are Islamic names. No,
so what's the difference?
So the difference is that they don't even like their identity is no more. The two of them. Who are they? For instance, wo ba ye kroma almost see like Nabla family wo be hu say obi be pointed to me ba mu omo ye Nasigri family for on be ka say we mu ye Nasigri family. So the whole family be ye Nasigri family wo kwa baby anantoma omo family nie but senior omo sorry omo jai omo dimu afa Islamic names. Who say omo ye Christopher no krampo omo ye chen Islamic religion because Christopher no for instance me omo mami Janet who say omo dinabla to so
yes
but we a Muslim dey omo be you both we say name ne wo bibia na mama hwe say we din di Haruna na wo kware a akwala okowu akwala on fam ntu wu papa di o di betu wan kasa wa wudi. So time beba no like you not be valued anymore because we call am omo use wudi. So that's what they are doing.
So the Islamic names are more or less like Christian names that we want to have, like Janet,
Islamic
Richard.
Names.
That's all it means.
Even people who are Christians are better because the first name will be a Christian name.
Yeah.
I've never seen any Christian name over a krum. Nedinye Anthony Joseph Debi ebe Anthony Bakutoma Anthony Nantoma Anthony Nasigri some things like that. But it could not be just Anthony something, but obi a Muslimin ube who say wakoko fa the whole this thing. So one of the things our PMP government you will have to have an identity. If not that, you cannot get employment. Your employment will be terminated. Because do you know, say because of that, a lot of our neighboring countries, they are those who are holding the jobs. They come here, go to school, take over the jobs of Ghanaians, because of the Islamic names. No one knows that. When you see them, you think they are Northerners. They are not Northerners. Because they know that when they come with the Northerners are using the same names and they are also using the same names.
So a Nigerian is called Haruna.
It is
the almost from Haruna.
Haruna
who is a Nigerian.
And Mustafa Hamid. Almost like who are they? In the north, who are they? We don't know them. Because the identity is vanished. And they are now using a foreign name. You are not from Saudi Arabia. Okay. But you are using a Saudi Arabian name. Okay. Do you think a Saudi Arabian will come to a Nalergu and come to Tamale to come and use our names? Why are you killing our identity? So those who have destroyed our tradition has to do with people who uses Islamic names throughout and won't even use their identity. Because of them, northern region, we are now having a problem. And I think that Harun Idrisu and even Bagumia and Co. But you see, Bagumia, he is using Mahmudu Bagumia. So the Bagumia is the surname. It saves. But a lot of the people, they don't use surnames. Okay. They just use Islamic names and they have lost their identity. Okay. And we want Haruna Idrisu to come home. Haruna Idrisu is not a northern name. Mustafa Hamid is not a northern name. Who are they? Which community are they coming from? Which tradition are they from? We don't know who they are because we are not members of the Saudi Arabian group. Okay. So who are they?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's say all right, Janet Asana Nabla. So Nabla, it's your family name, like
that is Nabla. Okay. Nabla is when you give birth to twins in our hometown. The next terrier is called Nabla.
Oh, okay.
So our family, we are the Nabla this in family. Okay. We have Nasigri and other things, but you see, majority of the people that we see on television and things, they don't have identity. We don't know who they are, where they are coming from. We just don't know them.
So Asana is a twin, like
I'm a twin.
You're a twin.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Janet. Okay, my member here, Godfred, so now fi yending komo sesia Godfred yending komo na fi yenhwe what truly Ora Haruna Idrisu ade atuja no yebetimi ayehu bibia, and we will not tolerate long hair today or tomorrow in our SHS and then mother thank you know. Let's look at it. I mean, let's see what we can make Ghanaians do.
Okay. Mini already mema watching na bamifa akwenya isunsu nchia me ame bosses lawyer Kwesi Kwatim Frimpong and the soon to be lawyer George Sapon na minchia Ghana men nyina especially for mutie ya no pay. So on the issue of long hair our senior high school systems me as an individual, as a matter of personal belief and principle there, Mrs. say especially at that senior high school level, no, personally, me of 4 sisters. I have so many cousins on my ma, and I personally believe so. Because you see, beyond the distractions, there are so many reasons. Young more friendly than especially at the senior high school level. But there's a couple of things I'm a person may clarify on. Okay. And one thing I say most people are moody defending say your mumbo muti is on the issue of the contention between private and public schools. Unse in economics, near be public good and near be private good. Now, Oshe a senior high school level system even at the time when free SHSM, no education was still a public good because our government has subsidized it. But what I say, it's a private free senior high school no acquire fully a public good. But if I be able to say a private system, it is totally different from the public system. And the reason me make this example is because in the event or a public good, it means the access is small. It means all people from all walks of life can have access to these systems. It is the reason Okoye senior high schools especially you have people from all walks of life. In the end, Nanado Dankwah Kufu Roma because of free senior high school. So Oko senior high schools you were the rich, you were the poor, you were the middle class, you were everyone within one institution. But Oko baby to say private school, you purely private good now. It's now your ability to pay. Into those schools now, the sort of students are now what to say Akusumo International about parents who can pay. Into baby to say, mra say obi out me bonitia affect much. But baby to say senior high schools. akwakoye more of a public good. So umamra say, oh, obia to me boniti and bibia. That is when the sort of competition and distractions come in the sense, at that age, some of these children are now forming up. And one say, you will be a friend in the rebellious age. Omudu those teen ages now. They want to explore so much, do so much. Intina unkulani bo hokrampa, especially at the university level. So bo okra sikabikwa no nya sugar daddy bikwa kwa kweden kwa kudineti. So at the point I kwala bi ne nua bi oti school ba akumu. See, because of free senior high school, St. Louis, Okwa Wesley girls, the rich are there, the poor are there. It's a rich in the air, bo muti. Ya in there, yamba in some here. Almost every 1 week, 2 weeks, be a person with new style. How would that set a good precedence for the other students? But you say, I think, in your quest to solve a problem, or in your quest to fight for rights, you end up creating more problems than you actually anticipate. Because of free senior high school. I'm saying this year, provisions no they can garini sugar pill. Yamu akola niti. Akola no kwatena classroom na fefo abo muti no so obo niti bi. No, let's face the realities. Na yamakro mo JHS ne ade. No who say na dan for crash empobo afofra. At least onyanka ne papa nso be den ebeto bi ama no. Wo si sa akola we nkwatena school mu. Na fefo obo muti o Wesley girls. Na fefo obo muti o Holy Child. Every 1 week akola we be frefie. Look at the sort of pressure in the long run. You have two parents. So the few who can afford this continuous, let me say in quotes and unquote, lavish living, will be at the expense of the many. It's a private school. No, and I'm explaining the difference between the public good and the private good. So by the time that means I'm well to do. But then I don't need to be rich for my child or my sister or my sibling to go to Holy Child, Wesley Girls, St. Louis. It's just that clear distinction. And then again, what is the essence of education? Education, yet say, who quack classroom question idea keko. And I think go ye do be a paper man say, ye dear ope. You will reason in tea catch or say, bra school time we. Sometimes crampon school crowd will be a yes, bra 6 no. And you say 6 and additional best as you. Additional start be 8. But then at your time, yes, bra 6. Even though additional best 38. But do school maybe at 6:30 cry, ye be ma roku on your bow. Ye throw punctuality. It is sometimes mummy careful how we attack things. But you see, let me clarify something important. There are Safarian issue, no. The reason under the MPP, we because a Minister of Education and to find the NC for me, so to find the NC for more. The reality is any legal basis, and this explains it. I've read the GES Code of Conduct for pre-tertiary level. You need any law in GES laws now. Cause keep long hair or short hair. Now let me read it. I say, students shall not wear chains, bangles, caps, braces. Wearing of spectacles shall be with medical prescription. And it further states, students should have a decent haircut as prescribed by the school authorities. Hair should be clean, neat and modest, and avoid extremes in styles and color. What kind of food yeah? Avoid
extreme.
I say avoid extremes in styles and color. So without extremes.
So that was what I was coming to.
What kind of extremities of law?
Yes.
It depends on how you explain it. But like I say, extremities means obi our dignity.
So that was what I was going to say. But then extreme mame.
It will be a content. You know, like I say, no, I just want to clarify something. Say, and that there be percent for TRC. A man may say, under the previous administration, the doctor was saying, "Duchman, Doctor Machopoku Prempem, no mutim for money for more." I just want to clear something in the air.
Okay.
Said there is no legal basis because Ebini would hear okay. Maybe extreme when they say, "Oh, to me, no, me when they say, oh." In Sakura,
yes.
Obi when they say, "Oh, we send a kakrebi and yahe." Obi when they say, "Oh, we send a tinti and yaboni." Obi when they say, "Oh, sakura bonny."
Yes.
You realize that there is no common ground that Ebejina Aka say this is the law and this is not the law.
So this thing becomes ethics and our law.
So
because these are not rules and regulations.
So that's what I'm explaining. See, the current system in Ghana, no, it is not an issue of constitutionality. It's an issue of societal norms.
So these are ethics. I mean, you choose to.
But ethics can be argued on.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It's a maker say. You mean say the minister's pronunciation, you know. Honestly, see, per se, entrenched that you need to go beyond the pronunciation.
Exactly.
But that shouldn't also mean say any quasi you discredit you be say But I so went me and find NC form.
I get you.
Because the person didn't have legal basis. Internal Rastafarian need the court now he could win. Because legally, GS doesn't even have that law. I'll bet you say keep this size and keep this size. It means beyond Honorable Haruna Idrisu pronouncement, if we really want to make it entrenched, we have to start making laws. Entrenched, and we also have to make the law more clarified because the current GS policy doesn't say that. Or say as prescribed by the school. I had friends from St. Peter's. I know me say, oh, St. Peter's here, so it's regional as well. Only problem. They hear say it is neat. But in my school, me so me house master be say me level way na me so me hearing. Me pay. Until you realize say the law uniform. The disparities are so much. Until as a country until say benya that level ground, we cannot solve these issues. Until I believe say now more than ever or see a looking beyond me when it comes to issues of education. Personally, I look beyond the partisanship. If collectively and generally, yes, you say, oh, your man or more senior high school in any mutia. I believe that there are so many ways a bit of my way I entrenched referendums near the ending or my muna jiatum. Yasem Marano. But even beyond the Marano, there were exceptions. You see, public school, even public senior high school, there are not. It's not even about Indians or Lebanese. There were Ghanaians or Mabu, because biologically or health-wise they can't. I think those exceptions are there. Intina Nazigi can be about dermatology near there. Those exceptions are there. I think for those ones you can't argue the exceptions. Like I said, the exception is not the rule. Into the Rastafarian issue, you realize that Achimota one who lost the case because on the basis of religion, you will lose. But if they had at least accepted the exception. So, maybe Seben have any because I think Nani Papa advance an argument along that line.
Yes.
Say health-wise, a bit me affecting the panel. Personally, I don't see a problem with it, but I don't also subscribe to the fact say you're managing the norm. It's the Honorable Minister of Education. You say Kessben TV and Kessben FM DFD Kessie. Yes, Sereno. Beyond the pronouncement, let's look at the law. Let's look at the GS policy because our anti-care. Believe you me, they see last year and Besamba app or BBTS on and they win against the law.
Because again, Godfrey, that's not it brings me to a whole scenario again. Now, this one, if care is not taken, becomes more or less like a moral principle that we put in it, and policies are not really laws in itself.
Yes,
it's just to guide us to do the right thing.
Exactly.
But is it not the same GS that controls the private schools?
Yes, the same GS controls the private schools.
Okay, so why are we then positioning in a sense that, okay, if the government schools, we are going to go with this. Private schools, which still gets permit registration and everything from the same government, their people can, or students or kids can have their hair done, like the Montessori's. I mean, my child can do Montessori from day one till the time we in the SS. There, it is free for them to do anything they want to do with their hair. Exactly. But GES is the one that is really mandating that Montessori's can work. So why can't we then do it a uniform one, like you're really proposing that Emrani Emra? This is the Emra for all schools.
Exactly.
But then somebody will ask, then foreigners no more banners on then because some teacher education is in common, some with natural hair no. As long as Lebanese near tintin to about school now, they be on a bit me.
Exactly. Inti onzana make be say the reason grandpa now no private schools no man to me among own hair code and say under the current policy no GSA students should have a haircut as prescribed by the school authorities. It means that they all can but until we go back to this to say that until GS about amending the policy naka say students must keep a low haircut. Or students must keep a hair maybe 5 centimeters long or 10 centimeters long. It means that the private schools are still at liberty. But I think, say, Ghanaians, as a matter of, sometimes I see you elevated the discourse a bit. I feel it is unfair when people use foreigners as an excuse. From 2017 coming, we've had about 3.5 million students and counting going through our senior high school system. That is just free SHS. The question was say Lebanese do was saying the womb. Chinese do was saying the womb. I can state on authority. You go across Ghana today, senior high schools won't get maybe even up to 100 foreigners. We can't use them as a benchmark. but also we can't use them as a benchmark because and I'm kind of something about exceptions because currently young call for because of health issues since doctor say money unity go public schools maybe go for a penny senior high school or book medical report no bonity but I don't know school no science regulating my own who say maybe our styles be how to mean den want me more a simple con robe ni ade bet me abo so I believe say we see more clarity concerning the law but we can't use foreigners as a basis because like I said the exceptions cannot be the rule. The exceptions are exceptions.
Okay.
All
right. Madam Asana is my mom because my mom is also called Asana and a twin too. She's really spoken well. Even our president don't have a northern native name. Or this one says because private schools is doing business, they will not do this. But for public schools, it's mandatory for government groom. Okay, that's what he wants to say. The children, so the disciplinary measures should be strict. This is from Aaron Ofusu Hene Takrade. Honestly, there or the and this one says, good morning, boss. Please, I am BB from Sekwa. Please, cutting of hair at the SHS is not needed. Even pregnancy that makes the ladies weak and hinder their learning is accepted. Even GHS. So what has cutting of hair got to do with learning? Also, there or they and no. This one says that in cases where a teacher is an Inzima posted to Kumasi, a cosmopolitan city, teaching in class of about 5 different ethnicity without specific textbooks. How is the teacher going to teach these multi-ethnic groupings in and in what specific language? Wiseman Mankesim and the Dene Dearby. But that's a good one that he's asking, sir, a bit to me, Abbaswana. My name is Peter. He's watching you from Enchi. Okay, Peter Medasi bro. Say, good morning, sir. Please, what's about the children of foreign nationals who are in basic schools with long hairs? I know na Godfred na odi hunkomo sisiano and also Nedian. And this one says 2 p.m. Asante Mampo say it seems people are behaving like we have not seen what is happening today before. It's first time Education Minister issues stern warning to pre-tertiary. The law should work. Simple. Greetings to Honorable Joseph Amankwa, aka Ejumara MCE, Kwabre East, Mampontain, and Nidia or the Ebayan. And this one says that good morning, sir. I'm a native of Adan, in the greater Accra region. I had all my education in Adan and speaks English, Gan, and Dangbe. As a trained teacher, posted to Zabzugu Tatale in Basic 2. Please, what language do I speak? To my learners, the minister should come back on also there or the Ebayan. So there's a whole lot of argument on this one that like Godfrey said, if we should do politics, we should do away with politics with this one and deal with nationally. How we're going to solve this problem. What it tells me is clearly the education sector, you have more issues than any other thing. You first say more petty, but a very, very big issue. And I think we need to look at it. For instance, if a teacher is telling me, say, Watana Adan all his time, was she idea or can't English or can't Gan or can't Dangbe. Now, if you push in the call Zabzugu Tatale. Now, we say basic 1 and 2 na no onche omu local tree na no non-functional media. Ono anga se munano oye problem. It's then otimi echre. Ebe hadwin ye pa. Eduko school na so yankran na.
Nsuya bi mpoda.
Nti den na so yan.
Twini brofo.
Twini brofo. Eduko school we.
Me ko school ko.
Kwa Eliana Diana.
Me ko Eli.
Oh, ewiana no pa de ni bia na. Pepe. Iti class 1 and class 2 na musu yan den.
Twini brofo.
Twini brofo na. Nti mu school na don't speak vernacular no. O kan vernacular be tru odi. Na ya bo. Nti ya bo na ese won kan vernacular ni.
Kan vernacular no. Me sada no me kwa me ya no pa me kwa awia.
Okay.
Awia susu ane ma kwa no pa. Ti be 1 week ni me see classroom da.
Idana se profune kana e den sadia because when to me and kasa e babo.
Brofo ni ntini am go school. Ene am na mu fie sami am so me kwa awia. Awia susu duru ya me
kwa no pa. Wapon.
Because brofo nti.
Kaya phobia ho ye.
Nyame adom.
Ye the radiasi. Be ma bia boko de.
Nyame adom bia.
Nice. Ye ni nkomo. Kaya phobia na mo man na no pay.
Yo, ya da si nyame hira wo ene we ahwefo ne watiefo a mo Kessben TV nyina e beda obi bia ase. Sadi abre no ye no Kayepco Ventures dada na ya sesam na mu ade a nyame eye no eno na eboro adwene entiase so a chese ye din a sese amanfo de abeka ho eye poro amantam so yesi adikanfo din dada ye visa before payment no eno ewo ho na amanfo de foforo abeka ho se poro amantam yesi adikanfo enti dwumadi a ye di no ano odin akwantuo no eho enhyehyeye a ye nye de amanfo etu kwan no eno an yeguso sabre wo ha anase utie radio uhwe TV a ewo Kessben dia the number SSA wo chiro 0556 73 5422 and 0556 702834 0556 73 5422 and 0556 702834. Your numbers no a 2 person the abre na abre mekano no se obi frɛ and I say number for obi frɛ say ofi Kayepco a enye no kware. Your number is no a 2 and one ye didi adwuma wo enkran ha ene Kumase enyina numbers no a 2 pe ofra bia wo bia so no ye no bedi nkomo fefefe ebe stress enei countries a work permit ewo ho a ye emayen ewo sisia ye wo Serbia Netherlands Japan Korea na Brazil amanfo ntie ni yie enye se ho no ye wo work permit na wo ho no nti ni chese ye ntimi mfa ho nko different countries ye all countries except Arab country pena yenye Arab country de yenye obasi yenye visa ma wo Arab country anase bibia yen de yenye but apart from no Europe anase other countries akeka ho ne de bia ye ho adwuma na mbomba bia ye wo work permit any countries 5 no a me boy ye no itima srata utie anu watie ni yie ye pe heavy duty drivers mason carpenter steel bender painters cleaners anu nyin chasin sanu dwumafo no wo betimi aba Kayepco na ye ne wo adidi nkombo na ye ni nkombo e wo phone so obi wo ho fra o se mepamochew mo beje mesen eno ne ade ama nipa ni binim edada nipa no wadi kan do ho abeto problem mu o fra ya o se mo beje mesen wa hu ekoba ne sa di onipa boni ni obetwa obo onu kan o sra so abedu ba bi obeka se o temeso obete so ebia o teso ko sisi ba bia obeya o se send mami na kofa nsem bebira aba enti bra office wo de onya frɛ na ogi location no frɛ na gi location say mo office na o fa he na tu ana mo bra ye office ho oba ye de niam nyina begu akwan mama mesra obo modin ne twro number no 0556 73 54 22 0556 73 54 22 and 0556 702834 Kayepco your numbers no yesramo say ye gusua ye de amanfo ekọ oba kai na fa o passport o Ghana card now the sika 2000 Ghana cedi aka ho eno penny sika Kayepco yaje ansa ne ya de ovesa ya de ovesa ma visa ne ba wia ena nhyehyɛ ya wo ho bia no ye ne aye enti obi wo ho sɛ de oba bisa ena mepɛsɛ me hu ka mebɔ no bra office oba wa meto me a beba beto director ho wa meto director beba beto me bra ho man so bebre e wo ho omu nyina no betena ase no wadi enkomo bia fa sikasem ho enye sikasem nyina na yedi ho nkomo e wo fon so ene ha kese adoso ye di nkomo wo fon so nyina wo tie de wo ka wani beba ho so no na akoye nsem bebre enti bomodin na bra office na ne yentena ase 101 na ye ni nkomo na ye nkyira wo de betimi ayaboa wo na ne wo so bia na ho nsoso mpa wa kyerɛ sɛ bia director me ho nsoso betima ye ready minya ya mekɔ eno so ya ne won kasa ne yemfa nhyehyɛ ye ngu na kwam ne nkyira kwan ya obefa so a obekɔ na kwan ya obefa so a ye beboa wo
okay all right what do become one
me be kan
okay
let me das
na inko
sina me bride ya to enu
yeah
location ye wo Kumasi and ye wo Accra
okay
Accra ne wo Anya Market Deeper Life Junction ana Kumasi nso ye wo Oshim Police Station hono KPD Ventures enye adwuma nko an ye wo le se mpo pa adwuma na se uni nsa no adwuma bia for each KPD Ventures so no e bia uni nsa se ye pestle benders mason e uni bi wo like wo ye layman uni bi adwuma bia for each hono ba e betimi apɛ ba bia e be boa a nsa no adwuma bia betimi abi fito de ho ahye hono ana simple pe on be so be ko adwuma ana ko for school o ko for visitor for the check KPD Ventures your country BAB your number near 0556 73 54 22 and 0556 70 28 34 your boy and Samrane say visa before payment. Did you visa before payment? Just say for 2,000 bra 2,000 for registration. Now the Ghana card, now the passport aba. Simple ni passport for each honor. Next 2,000 people say 2,000 to 2,000 na and according to this car next year to go brief people say put your 2,000 dey be no honor. They say for 2,000 but any year I dey check say only year one share. Yes. Because over agent back say for say bra. They say for 2,000 bra. Any year bet na say yenye visa animal simple say ye work visa. Say we be up work and pay. Ope say ope so call visit. Ope so anything about travel bia by office onum we do 2,000 but now the Ghana card now the passport aba na ya aboa na yehihye bia onum ama say enye work enye travel ko yesa so ton cars say ye Korea cars say Japan cars we be see crack car no every Korea ho ma ana say Japan ho ebre Ghana ha no ma ye ana say yesa so cars dey bi so ha no ko Oshim police station wo say ton cars bi bre ho no cars e import dey aba ye ton wa ha no
okay
we be am be so we saw told they were already brought in by office on Kumasi and Accra. KPD Ventures bit many in Adia.
Okay.
Your number near 0556
okay
73 54 22
okay
and 0556 70 28 34.
Okay. All right. Yako
yo me da say the make twatwa anyina ne say cars na niam ya de ba ni nyina no eye KPD yanya yansa no dwuma ni bi no obi wo ho a ona adwen se anipa binim ayadan abu na fa so yan de oba ya so ya yan su ni yan bobre kura ma ohun se ye nipa bi a ye betimi ayadan abowa wo mpanifo abu be se kwatre kwaso obe ma ontuma tie ne din na oba ya so ya na ohwe se okọ ti se Oshim police station ya ho ne garage kese ye wo uduru ho na cars na egu ho no mpo no ye ka kire wa mpo na obe ka kire ye se enkofu enya de a omu betimi adada sabi o hwe cars ya kra begu o man ye ton ye be ma wa ba ni abedada na o kina bi ubetata ye dwane de ye ka na ja wa na asai dabi ye ndada eti bomodin ya fa 2,000 ne bra oba sika ubetua no ye be ma wa hu office ho ansa na wa fa forms na ohu wie so a mi ogidie so be fa forms no ama ya je visa na ma ya je visa ni wie ansa ne sa sika no ubetua eti udi 2,000 ne ba o de ba se for registration say ye no wa pam say ye adwuma bi say ma ti 2,000 de e kire no ne sika bot na obetua ansa no watu kwan afri Ghana akwamo no ne de ye be ka kire o se no unya sa sika na enyina ye won hyehyɛ ye wo ho ma so benya ni nyina soso a eno visa ne ba ansa na watua
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's it. Kayeku for yedi is a month 14 year pa and omidiso omaba. I cha boss mame.
Yo, match anama.
Mate. But that's pa. All right. Anyway, Kayeku for, but this one is coming from Nana Bafo. Nana Bafo say or say please tell Janet I love her for who she is. Some cities for her chai. Nana Fafa Miswai, na me see this anyway. Would Nana Menyes out? No. Me running up with a Godfred on that, but we'll be say my name is Campbell, Sambia, Malinka, speaking from Takwa, and not now, but I have lived in Takwa. I am happy to hear my sister saying this, and I have been saying this day in, day out to my people, asking a whole lot of questions to know where some of our people come from, because their names are from Saudi Arabia, and they call themselves Ghana and Northerners, who as a whole, and for that matter, I always worry with these matters and all that. I think education and seminar we need to continue tomorrow, because there's a lot of things that people will really want to talk about. But Godfred, you're caught running up. Any other issue you really want to touch on?
So I think one other very troubling thing is the Galamsey Menesa Air Koso.
Okay.
What I would say is this government also looking beyond the PR, because social Galamsey in Komoya, I had a chair of mine because as far back as 2010, 2011, China for be go memua. Now you say, Nansa say, Ayana Manusem, President Kufa Dubai, Galam stop by Operation Vanguard by Missing Kaya Yao, Yura, Major Maxwell Mahama. He was in the line of duty. Unukusian in Quincy Wu. The 8 gallant men are recently no more called Boase, Nanina Galamsey in Komoya Hubi. We have lost people in the fight against Galamsey. And I love it, say people like Dennis Marcos Abajimo can say, we in the MPP, we are not ready to politicize a Galamsey conversation for political gains in 2028. We say in your NDC for politicizing the election, but this will look beyond that. No one solve the Galamsey issue. Finally, to the delegates of the MPP, Namea Adoma, 31st January, Yakwatuaba. Yesremo. Okoseko haya. Almost somebody can age upon by a better mamo. Unam drum, unam street. Obi asem fa ken mra ye beto amamo. Ghana is on a time bomb. Currently unemployment, corruption, Galamsey. No man nyensen we need to tiri we how man Ghana. You see one loving thing I must study about honorable Ken is baby obedu bia or identify the peculiar challenge there and how he will solve it. On the western region, who is a man for sawdust. Also now sawdust see between their factory, between your tables, between creating new mama. Now see on northern region, odu baby a okra corn oil. I say aha. Me nkasa tu kwan kwa akra o me nkasa kokumasi o se me be di president aha ya ye be produces oil we wa ha odu ha or the yam chips chere omo o se aha. You see every constituency be honorable Ken is identifying the peculiar challenge. Okay. And this is the man Ghana for suffer yes on 31st January me entoma honorable Ken no ba. You say 2028 will be a done deal for us. All right. Godfred, please, Mr. Host, good morning. The rules we set for our schools and other areas, I want to know whether the rules are punishment to us or it's a benefit or it is something that will guide our life for better. This one is an Agum from Brekum, and then this one says that, Senior, good morning. I want to ask why we are now testing the existing laws by this generation. Senior, the rule is clear. If you go to Rome, you do what Romans do. And then he says, Senior, concerning the use of local language in basic schools is a step in the right direction, but what we need to do is to have a one national language which will be accepted by all. Senior secondary schools without its own language can never grow because we don't have a secret as a country. Please remember, this is a colonial strategy by a colonial master. This is Munuri and then this one says that good morning Kessben, it is your girl Martina from Enum. Please, if outsiders should not cut their hair, then we should also use our local language, because when you go to Accra, you do what Accra people do. And this one says, good morning, I'm watching you live from Wa. My regards to Madam. In fact, I love her explanation. We need people like this to educate us by Osu. This is also Odia by. Last one say, hi, good morning, Kessben TV. They're supposed to allow them braid their natural hair because it is a normal thing. Also, Odia and no.
And a glorious happy birthday to you, Skylar Nana Ya Sapoma Akresi Sapon. Happy birthday to you, Skylar Nana Ya Sapoma Akresi Sapon. This one is coming from Daddy Kwame, Daddy Kwesi, Grandma Pat, and Auntie Presla. Happy birthday to you, little one. Radin Shopper. And then a happy birthday to you, glorious birthday to Michelle Faith Autry. Happy birthday to you, Michelle. And then a happy birthday to you, Kwame Kodua of Morning Star High School. Kwame Kodua of Morning Star High School. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to you, Abna Selassie. Happy birthday to you, Abna. God bless you. Happy birthday to you, Abna Selassie. And then a happy birthday to you, Mrs. Rebecca Duku Mensah. Happy birthday to you. And then a glorious one to you, Mrs. Nancy. Happy birthday to you, Mrs. Nancy. Happy birthday to you. And then a happy birthday to you, Martha Abna Ampa. Martha Abna Ampa. Happy birthday to you. And then more blessings and happy birthday to you, to Madame Efriye of Lakeside Estate Community 8. This is coming from your big sister, Nanama Ajuman. And the entire family. Happy birthday to you, Auntie Madame Efriye of Lakeside Estate Community 8. From your big sister, Nanama Ajuman, and I face the entire family. And then a happy birthday to you, Reverend Abraham Lamte, founder, Believers House of Worship International. Happy birthday to you, Reverend Abraham Lamte, founder, Believers House of Worship. Abraham Lamte. Oh, a guy, soft guy. Abraham Lamte, happy birthday to you, founder, Believers House of Worship International. Happy birthday to you. It's 9:47 in the studios of Kessben 90. Mate, any addition no ABCA. Thank you so much, production team, led by Richard Apia Sapon, Delali Joanna, and I feel so Addison, Fifi, and then Danny. We are back again tomorrow. Let's start the week with hope and believe. Say, have a blast, have a good morning. And we'll love you, Delali Joanna. Take care. Next day, mid-food action. Brought to you by Joe Laka and the team. From now to 2 p.m. It's going to be exciting. I'm a Samsung for Kojo Preko Dankwah. I end the game here, throwing the curtains down here, and saying that we'll meet again tomorrow, God willing. Have a good morning. Bye-bye.
No go this slow, live your life. I'm gonna love you if you let me, baby. Live your life. So, what the man come about here, boy, nipa bata, nipa home, will be a dan and young